Hi there, it's Mrs. Marino again. So we are going to continue our creo introduction with the extrude continued figure. We're going to go over drawing things, extruding things on other figures that are already existing, rounding edges, mirroring, saving, and coloring. So we're going to go ahead and go to creo, and the first thing we're going to do is select your working directory. You should already have that saved in your common folders. But make sure this last thing says creo. We're going to go ahead and press OK. And then we're going to go to new. You're going to want to make sure that it is a part and also a solid. And we're going to name it extrude continued. Press OK. And we're going to go ahead and click on top. And it is highlighted. And we will go to extrude again, just like normal, and go to sketch view. So that takes us to the previously when we did these, you just drew a square wherever you wanted, or a triangle or whatever. This time we're going to try and use the two planes that are there already to help us center the peg that goes on the end of each of the figures that of the figure that we're making. So the way that we do that is we're going to use a center line. So we're going to click on where it says center line, and we have to click twice to put it there. So if you see it here, we when you see that little blue dot with the line, that means it's vertical. So we've got one now there, and now we want a horizontal one for our x-axis, and you see the little blue dot with the horizontal line there, so that means we've got it lined up. And now we have center lines. Now you'll see as we grab a rectangle that it's going to center this. As I draw it across here, when I get to an equal spot on the other side, I get that blue dot, and that tells me, it kind of snaps into place. It tells me that I'm equally far from both sides from that center line. And then the same thing's going to happen when I come down here to the bottom. So I get that blue line, and it snaps into place, and now I have it centered. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my dimensions. Now notice that it did not make a square, it just centered a rectangle. So I'm going to double click on my dimensions. This needs to be 150 by 150. So I'm going to 150, and it goes and gets smaller symmetrically. So it's still centered. And then this also needs to be 150. So now we have our square that's 150 by 150, and it's perfectly centered. That's going to give us a spot to put our peg in so that we know that it's centered. It kind of takes a little bit of planning ahead. So we're going to go ahead and press OK, and that extrudes to 150. So up here in the depth, we're going to type in 300, and now we have it extruded 300. Now, what you notice is from the top face, it goes straight out. But what we're going to do is there's another option here, and that's over here next to where we had our 300. And we are going to click on symmetric. And what that does is it's going to extend it 150 millimeters in each direction instead of 300 in one direction. Okay, and so that's going to help us out with something that we have to do with the peg later. So now we have 150 in each direction, but it's a 300 total. When I'm ready to accept that, I'm going to press OK. And now I have my figure. Okay, so I'm going to start doing my peg, which means I need another extrude. And just to show you how, I'm going to do this on this front edge here. But instead of doing it there, I'm going to mess up on purpose and show you how you can fix it. So here I'm going to choose the top, I'm going to choose extrude, and then I'm going to choose sketch view. And oh no, I know that's not where I need to draw my peg. So I'm going to go this way and try to click on it, and nope, it's not going to let me do it. if I start trying to draw my circle here, it looks weird, huh? So we are going to tell Creo that we do not want that sketch. Okay, and modifications will be saved. Yes, I still want to exit it. But we don't need to get rid of the extrude altogether. What we're going to do is we're going to select the correct face, and that brings back our sketch menu. And then when we press sketch view, it takes us to the front of it like we want. And then I'm going to grab my circle, and I'm going to go right here to that center and start drawing it. I'm going to go to my dimension tool, and I'm going to make that 50. Okay, I'm going to accept my sketch, and you can see that it comes out here. If you have kind of a hole, then you may just need to flip it to the other direction. If you've chosen remove material, that makes a hole, but if you flip it the other direction and it's coming out, it's removing material from nothing. So we want to go ahead and toggle that off. There we go. Okay. So that needs to be 75. And we can press OK. So now we have our peg extruding from the one side and the body of our rectangle there. I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and we will go ahead and look for the next video for the rest of